Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show as we're at the break between Chatham and Westminster. And we're now joined by Westminster men's basketball graduate student DJ Harrell. DJ, first off, my friend, thanks so much for joining us today and taking a little time to talk about your career. I want to get into this season, though, because you've been having a great year individually. What do you think, and really, how have you assessed this season for yourself so far, but also for your team?
I feel like it's just been a great season overall so far. Um, just for myself, I really have to give the glory to my teammates, you know what I mean, and my coaches because they just instilled a confidence in me to, make plays down the stretch in games or when we need a bucket, So I definitely give it to my teammates and my coaches for, the personal success this season.
Well, you've certainly earned their trust, and it's showing on the in the stat sheet and on the court as well. But I want to go back in time a little bit to where you started your career at Bryan and Stratton College. You were twice named the Conference Player of the Year there, so had a lot of success there. What drew you to wanting you to start your career there?
Really just being close to home, you know what I mean? I was familiar with the coaches also. One of my high school teammates was at the school at the time, so I got to play with him and some other guys that I knew from the local area of Cleveland, Ohio. So, it was just I feel like it was just the right decision at the time.
What was it like for you this year going up against them? I saw that you guys played them earlier in the season. What was that like for you personally?
To be honest, it was fun to go against those guys, seeing some familiar faces, just in a different jersey, you know what I mean? I could just like it was just fun, really, seeing my old coaches and some of my old teammates are still playing there also. So.
Well, I'm sure that it made you kind of go back in time a little bit and look back at those 2 years. How much do you feel those 2 years at Bryan and Stratton really kind of prepared you for the rest of your career?
Really, it prepared me a lot. Like, just going in there and they really put me in the fire, from being a freshman and, a COVID freshman and then a regular freshman. Just the same thing. They instilled confidence in me and, they built me up, just telling me every game, to just go hard and not to worry about mistakes. Freshmen make mistakes. So, that's really what they helped me with, just building my confidence and helping me build my game also.
Well, with you being at a former school and coming to Westminster, obviously it means that you've gone through the transfer portal. And I'm very curious what that was like for you and how would you maybe advise other people to go about it if they were to take that route as well?
For me personally, the transfer portal was pretty weird. Hearing from coaches at every level, Division One, two, three, NAI, it's just the transfer portal is crazy. So, just my advice to anyone entering the portal, don't get nervous. You know what I mean? Really do your research on every school that hits you up because you never know what you might get yourself into at the end of the day. So, really do your research and ask questions and, just do everything you can to break it down. You know what I mean? These different schools that contact you.
Well, it was obviously a great match with you and Westminster when you landed in New Wilmington. What was it that drew you to wanting to continue your career with the Titans?
Really, Coach Richards. He just broke down a lot to me, like what his vision was for me and the team going forward. You know what I mean? He was honest with me from the beginning. So that really stood out to me. A lot of people aren't honest these days. So, Coach Richards' honesty really drew me in. And also, I was familiar with one of our assistant coaches that came here. He's new, Coach Danny Zuchak. Um, he's kind of familiar with my area. He's always in the Cleveland area, runs camps out there also. So, that really drew me in and just wanted to build, Coach Richards has a great resume. So that really was like, okay, he's a winner. I'm a winner. Let's get it done.
Well, your game has really taken off this season. I was looking at your box scores at just, 20 points after 20-point games for you. What part of your game do you feel has really flourished this season and has maybe been, a part of your game that might not have been present in previous years that has allowed you to have this strong season?
I feel like making the big plays down the stretch, just knowing that we need to get a bucket sometimes and, you know, getting the ball and making the big play, no matter if it's a score or a pass. I feel like that's one of the biggest parts this year for sure.
Well, you've certainly made some big plays, my friend, and I know that there's still plenty of season left for you to make some even bigger plays. DJ, it's been great to have you on today. Before we let you run, I know you mentioned the pedigree that Coach Richards brings with all the championships. So you have a head coach that knows what it takes to win the PAC title. For you, what do you think it will take for this team to make a deep playoff run and push for that championship?
To be honest, it's going to take heart and continuing to build each and every day and trusting in each other and trusting in Coach Richards' plan, really, really down to the nitty gritty in practice and in the games, continuing to just be consistent. Consistency is really what will take us to the next level.
Well, my friend, you have certainly been consistent, and it's been a fun season to watch you on the hardwood and excited to see the rest of the season for you and Westminster. DJ, thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Westminster men's basketball player DJ Harrell. Stick with us. We'll have the second half of today's game coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.